This episode, it's defense, defense, defense. So the team I'm going to use to show some defensive tips is the Steelers, because they have a really top draw defense this year, and TJ Watt has one of my favourite abilities in the game. Before I play, I generally use the defensive playbook 4-3 because a 4-man rush is better than a 3-man rush in Madden. And I'll start it off showing one of the nickel formations. So this means you've got 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs in nickel. That's what the formation means. I'm just going to show you some of the different plays here and the coverages. You can see Tampa 2. You've got basically the 2 outside corners in like flats that cover the outside a bit more. And then your 2 deep zones. Basically Tampa 2 just means you have 2 deep zones. You've got things like cover 3, which means you then got 3 deep zones, which gives you a bit more backwards protection over the top. And the same thing, cover 4, you have 4 deep zones. And basically it just shows you the different type of coverage adjustments you can use. And you can run man coverage, and you can run more blitzes and things like that. Mixing up all these plays is really important when playing defense, as it's going to confuse your opponent. And when I'm playing defense, one of my main tips for a lot of starters out is to play on a middle linebacker here. Just gives you the freedom where you're not going to give up big plays because you're not playing on one of these safeties. If you play on a linebacker, it gives you a chance to try and take away some of your opponent's routes and what they want to do. Again, with the 4-man rush, you'll hopefully see TJ Watt again lighting up and forcing bad throws. There we go, we've got interception there. Because I'm not playing on one of the deep zones there, they can go back and deal with anything deep for me. I've got 3 deep zones here, and I've got coverage to the flats on both sides, and like a little yellow zone that will play the middle here. So I don't have to worry about this. So on my linebacker, I'm kind of trying to look for any routes around here. You're going to get a 4-man. I hope you've got some guy shedding. There you are, big sack. And that's because you're putting TJ Watt in a position to make plays. With my linebacker, another tip is coming down into the gap here. So it's now the centre's got to worry about you blitzing as well. Again, try and get the centre to watch you. You get one-on-ones across the board. You get TJ Watt with a big one-on-one there. Again, forcing bad passes. Tackling on defence is also really important. And if you can press down on your stick like that, you get right down in the stick. I forced a fumble there. I didn't get the ball back, but you can see it's called a hit stick. Again, we'll see if let down quick get the ball here. And there you go, big hit down. I forced another fumble. The best way to tackle is with an A tackle, what is called a conservative tackle. So I'll get there and just wrap up and make sure I make the tackle. It means Dalvin Cook, there's no chance to break a tackle on me. The other team I like using for a really strong defensive team is the Seahawks, because they have players like Adams and Wagner. They have lots of hit power to make sure you can get stops, but lots of speed as well everywhere on their defense. To get the full speed out of your players, you want to be using right bumper. This means you can get to places on the field a lot quicker. And if you're just walking around just with your stick, you're a little bit slower. But if you hold the right bumper, you go a little faster. So here, I can sprint a little bit faster with my user. I'll show an example of an X tackle right here, which is like a dive. There you are, it's good defense there. And there, I dived and got in there and made sure I made the tackle. There's more chance of running backs breaking those tackles as they're riskier ones. Other defensive tip I was given is use some of the blitzes that are in your playbook as well. And so you can see all the red lines lighting up. And these are players that are going to go after the quarterback. A bit more risky, but say on 3rd and shorts when you need a stop, I'd suggest doing something like this. See that? I'm going to blitz. And there you go, we've got a quick pass out and a mistake from Lamar right there. Before the snap as well, if you're playing someone like Lamar like I am now, if you double tap at the right bumper, you can put your players on contains, and this means these outside linebackers won't go after the quarterback anymore. And this is really important against a player like Lamar, who it's really easy for him to get outside the pocket. And with this simple adjustment, you'll see these defensive ends just stay on the outside. And as soon as he rolls out, there they are. Now, so a few tips: if someone's passing the ball on you a lot, I'd suggest using one of these teams like the Steelers, who have TJ Watt, which is an ability which helps against the pass, an edge rushing one. If you're also starting to struggle against the run, pick a team like the Rams with Aaron Donald, who has inside stuff and abilities like this, which means he lights up on run plays and blows up all the run plays in the backfield. You'll see him dominate linemen. Hopefully this helps you shut out your opponents in online games and limit the touchdowns you concede. If you're new to Madden or want to take your game to the next level, make sure you subscribe to more episodes of Master Madden.